Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to Coding Knowledge. In this session, we'll discuss on what is version controlling system and distributed code source code management. And I suggest you, before going through this session, go to my part 1 of this Git and GitHub series, that is on Git and source code management. So in this session, we will discuss few points, and these are described here. What is a version controlling system with scenario? What is distributed code management? What is the location of source code management and version controlling system? So let's understand a version controlling system with a scenario. So in the development life cycle, every developer will do some changes as per requirements. So in certain scenario, what file has been pushed to GitHub by dev A shows some defects. So how to identify those defects or track the changes history made by each developer, that is dev A, dev B, dev C and dev D. So this mechanism comes under version controlling system, or short you can tell it as VCS. Okay, now we'll describe using this diagram with an example. For example, dev A has pushed the file to GitHub, that is file1.cs. So here VCS will maintain a specific version ID for that change made by dev A. So version controlling system every time maintains by generating version ID for those who has done the changes. So after file changes made by dev A, the version controlling system has one version ID, and the same file has changed by the developer B. So the version controlling system has another version ID. So every time version controlling system, or VCS, has unique version of ID for each and every changes. So that means, so there are 4 developers, dev A, dev B, dev C and dev D. There, whatever changes made by them, they will create an version ID which is created by version controlling system, and this will be stored in our GitHub, that central location. This is nothing called the source code management. So that's why we talk, this is called every time VCS has unique version ID for each and every changes. Okay, now we'll describe this version controlling scenario with an image 2 with another example. So here you can see file1.cs here has changed by developer A, and version controlling system has generated an version ID, that is this version ID generated by the version control system, for example 5678-EFGH-7890. So the same file1.cs was again changed by dev B, and the version controlling system generated on version ID is here you can see version ID. VCS has ID for their changes is 1234-ABCD-7890. So here you can understand the version controlling system has generated the unique version ID for each changes made by different developers, that is dev A and dev B, or users. So before and after changes of file called file1.cs made by dev A and dev B, the mechanism of version controlling system is called VCS. So that's all mechanism what we performed here by dev and dev B, and the VCS has generates version ID for every changes. This mechanism is called VCS. Here every changes will be tracked by VCS, that is version controlling system. That means dev and dev B, whatever they do the modification and changes on the particular file, that is file1.cs, there is one specific unique ID will be generated, that is called VCS. That's why every changes will be tracked by VCS. Here Git is one of the popular version controlling system. So overall VCS is nothing but the Git, and it is the popular version controlling system. Okay, now we learn about what is distributed code source code management. So here we'll take as an example to understand this diagram. Here GitHub is the distributed code source code management. For example, here dev A, developer B, developer C, and developer D. So for example, dev A works at USA location, dev B works at India, dev C works at UK location, and dev D works at Sri Lanka location. So everyone can access GitHub remotely using internet access instead from local machine individually. So GitHub can be accessible by everyone remotely. That's why it is called distributed code management. So GitHub, that's why it is called distributed source code management, because every developer or users can access the GitHub remotely at any place, anywhere in the world. In the world, they can access everywhere. So dev A has changed the file and the version controlling system has generated one version ID, and dev B has changed the same file and version controlling system has generated another version ID. This version ID is generated by VCS or version controlling system is never same, and it will be unique each time. Even dev A and dev B are from different location with their different local machines. This is the beautiful creation of VCS and SCM, nothing but version controlling system and source code management. So dev A has changes one modification on the same file, file1.cs. VCS is created, version controlling system has generated one version ID, and dev B, the same file, he was working on the same file, file1.cs, and version controlling system has generated another version ID. So this one will be unique every time, every changes by the every developers. So this is the beautiful understanding between version controlling system and source code management, and already we have understood that why GitHub is called distributed source code management. So next we'll talk about location of source code management and version controlling system. So here source code management, it is the GitHub which reside at remote location, and the version controlling system is the Git which resides at each and every developer local machines. Through Git we can connect to GitHub. So for better understanding, I have added one image diagram for better understanding. So here GitHub is the remote location, and dev A is at USA location, dev B is at India location, dev C is at UK location, dev D is at Sri Lanka location. So dev A has the his individual Git for dev A local machine, and for dev B also there is a individual Git in his local machine, and dev C also has its Git for his local machine, and dev D has its own Git for his local machine. So through this we can access remotely to the GitHub. It is in a remote location where it can be anywhere in the world, even USA, UK, everywhere. So through Git, every developer will connect to GitHub or remote location through internet connectivity. So this is the better understanding between version controlling system and SCM. So this is my YouTube channel, Coding Knowledge. In this YouTube channel you can subscribe, like and share it for getting update on .NET, .NET Core, Angular, GitHub and DevOps series and SQL Server. So in this session we have learned what is version controlling system with an real-time scenario, what is distributed source code management, and what is the location of source code management and version controlling system. So thank you guys, thank you for listening, thank you, and stay tuned for more.